It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that, let's jump right in. Okay, guys, so we're back to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey and what exactly is going on. So season 12 is currently in production, and it's supposed to be one hell of a season, and let me tell you why. We had Teresa Giudice, and we know that we got to meet her new man, Louis Ruelas, last season, sort of towards the end. Actually, it was at the end, but we're excited to see what this relationship dynamic looks like. Apparently, from what we're hearing from insiders, Teresa is absolutely smitten. They're saying that Teresa and Louis are acting like two teenagers in love. She's bringing him on work trips. They're always hands-on with each other. She's just obsessed with the guy. Not obsessed in a weird way, but absolutely just in love. And at this point, we have to remember Teresa has been through so much. Not only did she have to do prison time, her husband was deported, her family has been through it all. And I seriously feel for her children only because no kid deserves to go through this. And I think Teresa has handled herself really well. Not only did she go to prison, but she came out blazing, making sure that she paid off the restitution. She paid off Joe's restitution. She made sure that she kept a roof over her children's heads, and she's continuing to work. She's been working her ASS off. So we have to applaud Teresa for that. Now, what exactly is going on in the season 12 production? Well, from what we're hearing, the women, even though they're happy for her, they're sort of pointing out some red flags from Louis' past. They're saying that Louis has a checkered past with his exes and that she needs to be careful. They think that she's diving into this way too fast and she needs to sort of take a step back, enjoy the moment, put herself first, and make sure she knows exactly what she's doing. We do know that she sold her home, and not only did she sell her home, but she bought another home with Louis Ruelas, which kind of seems like it's moving fast. But at the end of the day, I think Teresa, at this point in time, after having so much time to reflect on what's important in her life and what's not, I think she knows what she's doing. However, before we continue, I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think Teresa's making a big mistake by moving way too fast with Louis? Or do you think that with all of the time that she's had off from a relationship, that she knows what she wants and she's moving at a pace that's proper to her, conducive to a healthy lifestyle for her and her children? I want to know that. Now, moving forward, what do we have to look forward to season 12? Well, apparently it's all of the women pressing into Teresa's business, wanting to know what the dynamic of her relationship is like and wanting to know more about Louis. Everyone keeps saying if Louis proposes to her that she will absolutely accept the proposal because she is so in love. Now, TMZ did catch them walking down, I believe it was Rodeo Drive, and they asked Louis, one, what do you think about Joe Giudice? And he was super respectful, and he should be, especially because her kids are going to see all of this. And they've been through so much. He said that, he's a great guy. And then secondly, they asked, will you guys ever get married? And he said, yes, eventually in the future, there will be a proposal. Now, I'm calling this already. I feel like whether it's the finale or whatever the case is, I feel like season 12 will have that proposal for Teresa. I think that he will propose, even though that doesn't mean they're getting married right off the bat. I'm sure it would lead into either a Teresa wedding special on Bravo, because she is one of the most sought after housewives. And she's been one of the few OGs who have stayed on from the first season all the way. She's here. She's not going anywhere. They even stopped production while she was in prison, serving her time in order to catch her coming out of prison and talk about those experiences. It just makes so much sense that he would propose this season, because that means that season 13, we would be getting a wedding, or again, a wedding spinoff. Now, of course, it's not all about Teresa, as Jackie Goldschneider says. It's not the Teresa show, even though it kind of is the Teresa show. There are other dynamics at play here, and Jennifer Aydin is kind of on the chopping block as well. not on the chopping block as far as maybe she'll lose her job, maybe she won't, but she has a lot of relationships to repair, especially after the reunion. Some of the women are not comfortable with Jennifer Aydin coming around after she slammed them. Margaret Josephs would be one of them because Jennifer Aydin accused Margaret Josephs of being the one who originally came up with this ridiculous rumor that Jackie Goldschneider's husband, Evan, was cheating when he goes to the gym. Now, I say ridiculous because it hasn't been proved. It was completely baseless. Nobody would say who actually said it. Nobody came with facts, receipts. It just seemed like slander at this point. But Jennifer Aydin was quick to say, I know Teresa was the one who brought it up, but Margaret, you need to own up to this because you're the one who originally started this rumor. Margaret didn't take too well to that, and she completely denied starting the rumor. So with that, it's all up in the air at this point. We don't know who's telling the truth. Now, Margaret Josephs wasn't the only person that Jennifer Aydin went after this past season at the reunion. She also went after Melissa Gorga. She said that Melissa Gorga was selling fake purses in her store Envy, and that can be completely, I mean, that you're talking about someone's business that can rip apart her business, take away credibility from her business, ruin something that she's worked so hard for. And Melissa didn't take too well to that. Jennifer Aydin also said Melissa is boring as you know what, and said that the only reason she's technically on the show at this point is because her sister is on the show. She's not interesting, Joe's interesting, and Jennifer Aydin thinks that because Joe Gorga and Teresa Giudice have this sort of quirky dynamic, brother and sister dynamic, that's the reason Melissa has stuck around for as long as she has. Aside from that, Jennifer Aydin doesn't really understand why she would even be on the show. Now, it's not just Margaret, not just Melissa who has a problem with Jennifer Aydin. Apparently, it's Jackie Goldschneider too. Jackie Goldschneider doesn't like the way that Jennifer Aydin threw this out at the reunion. So these are 3 different relationships that need to be repaired this season. And from what we're hearing, there have been certain events already that Jennifer Aydin and her husband, Bill, have been excluded from. Will she be able to repair the relationships? We're not quite sure. But it sounds like Dolores is going to be a big part in trying to get all of the women back together and playing the peacemaker. Dolores is one of my favorite housewives because not only does she give us her unfiltered opinion as to what's going on with the other women or even in her own life, she talks to us about her relationship with David and also still living in her home with her ex-husband, Frank. Everyone questions it, thinks it's quirky, a little weird, kind of like this modern day family dynamic, but she doesn't care. She could give 2 you know whats. She does not care what we think. And that's something that, you know, we have to respect about her because she's still living her life the way she wants it. And she's not letting the media sway her. It's something I seriously have to applaud when it comes to Dolores. And not only does she give us her unfiltered opinion, but if there's some peacemaking to be had, and rightfully so, I mean, she's not going to go out there and try to repair relationships that are so obviously irreparable. But if there are relationships that, you know, could potentially be repaired, she's going to do her best to do so. Now, Teresa Giudice is also friends with Jennifer Aydin, and they've been pretty close. Some would say that Jennifer Aydin is following Teresa around like a puppy, trying to cling on to her in order to stay relevant on the show. Is that true? We don't know. Is it smart of Jennifer Aydin to cling on to Teresa Giudice? Yes, absolutely. Again, Teresa Giudice is the OG of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And she, in my opinion, probably has a big say in who comes and who goes. If she doesn't want to film with you, most likely you won't be invited back to the show. Jackie Goldschneider surprisingly was brought back. And I only say that, one, because fans weren't super excited about her storyline. They didn't know what she was really bringing. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing. I've said this a million times. It's not a bad thing if you don't fit the housewife profile, the standard housewife profile, because these are a lot of eccentric personalities. And Bravo as a network, you're still on a TV show. So they're expecting you to not only have conflict, but resolution, and to do it the best way possible, sort of with grace. But even though sometimes we see some of these housewives drag each other over a table, off the reunion floor, throw glasses of wine in each other's faces, we've seen it all. But for Jackie Goldschneider, she doesn't engage in any of the physical activity. However, she is not afraid to call Teresa Giudice out on anything. I think maybe the network looks at that like, oh, okay, there's someone who's willing to stand up to Teresa. We're going to keep her around because she does it with class. She doesn't really say anything too outlandish. Well, until this past season when she brought up the Gia Coke analogy, which was not cute. And from her stance, she said, listen, you're talking about my family, so then your family's fair game. Teresa obviously didn't take too kindly to that, and no mother would. But it seemed like after the reunion and having this tough conversation and addressing these issues, Jackie and Evan were able to not repair the relationship, but wipe the slate clean and hopefully move forward to have a better season 12. Now, I'm curious what you guys think. Are you excited for Teresa's new relationship to be more heavily showcased on the new season? And what do you think about these rumors that the rest of the cast is sort of on guard when it comes to her relationship to Louis? Some sources are saying that his exes are just looking for their 15 seconds of fame, and they're trying to slander him in order to be relevant because right now he's with a celebrity. He's with Teresa Giudice. But is that actually the case? Guys, you know I read all of the comments, so go ahead, give me your unfiltered opinions, and I will be reading them. And before we go, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Check us out every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for watching Up and Adam.